Yo, 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 yo. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Max and Juan cast. Max,
In person.
we back at it, bro. Draft season is officially here. That's a lot of work.
It's been here. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, because we actually recording now, bro. That's the reality of it. We're actually recording, so...
You know, the 6 hours of getting shit ready.
Exactly,
getting stuff
bro.
ready, I should
Yeah.
say.
Look,
no cursing.
Shout out...
Being good boys.
Shout out to Max. Shout out to me. Shout out to Max's cousin, bro. Jason. Shout out to Jason, bro. There's a lot of hands going on with this, man. There's a lot of work going on in this. This is the first episode. We're doing quarterbacks. I don't know if this is going to be the first episode published. Probably has to be now because I opened up my mouth. But,
yeah, there you go. Box us in.
But look, we have a little bit upgraded system, a little bit upgraded technology-wise.
Not upgraded hairlines. Just getting down.
Me neither, bro. I guess that's why I gotta wear the hat. All right.
No.
But we back at it. We back in the dungeon. We're doing quarterbacks today, okay? Not a lot of good ones. I don't think it's as good as last year's draft.
I would venture to say, yeah, you're right.
But look, we appreciate you guys stopping by. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, bro. We greatly appreciate it. Draft season does very well for us in the past. You guys love it, obviously. So we try to, put in the effort and give you guys some more things every single year.
Last year we killed it. So
last year
hopefully we can do even more numbers. Try to get that road to 2K.
Yeah, road to 2K.
MJC 2K. Got Saquon.
Exactly. So where do you want to start, Max?
Quarterbacks. No. So basically, guys, we're gonna show you some graphics, and we have grades this year for you guys, and just to break down what we're gonna talk about in terms of grades, we have about 12 categories. We have accuracy, athleticism, arm talent, football IQ, improvisation, pocket presence, mechanics, temperament, size/frame, production, clutch, and health. I would think most of those are self-explanatory. The only thing that might be explanatory is temperament. Temperament's something we talk about more, I think, than anyone else. Is your quarterback geared up to just throw the long ball all game, or is he check down Charlie?
Yeah. After seeing a lot of these guys come over the years in the draft and succeed, you got the Jalen Hurts, you got the Josh Allens, you got the Lamar Jacksons. They come in all shapes, size, and forms.
I think in years past, and obviously you just learn every year. You get better. You get better at looking at stuff. You get better at figuring out what's important. Obviously, we don't get a chance to talk to these guys because that's obviously just as important as maybe the physical stuff. Because if you get a guy like Jamarcus Russell, sorry, throw you under the bus again, Jamarcus Russell, if it wasn't already tough enough out there. But if you get a guy who's not serious and doesn't care, that's a problem. In years past, I would say I've always fallen in love with just like the physicals of stuff. But I definitely do think physicals obviously matter. There's no doubt about that. But maybe the package it comes in, Bryce Young scared me off a lot. He was my QB3 because I was like, he's tiny. You don't see this stuff working very often. In this class, there isn't very like many guys at the top where you're like, damn, Anthony Richardson's up here. It's like 6'4", like chill out of granite. But there's a lot of 6'1", 6'2", and I think that's fine. And
yeah. I
think in overall totality, like you said, the class is weaker than last year's. I mean, last year was historic, and I think anything short of that is going to be disappointing. And
yeah,
it wasn't as many discussions. I think we're going to have a similar list. I've seen part of your list. You've seen parts of mine. It's just slim pickings a little bit.
It is. So I know we're rambling on, but
building up the suspense for the list.
We do have a new system this year.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Max worked together as far as making a system where we can grade these guys on a overall grade to 100. I'm going to let Max take it over. He does a little bit better explaining things, but Max, what are we doing new this year as far as our grading system?
Yeah, like I said earlier, guys, we have the accuracy and stuff like that, but this year we're actually going to show you like a little bit more behind the scenes. Like we're going to have the graphic for you. I think it's a perfect time to show off the top 5 list. My 5, your 5. If you want to go first, go for it. I'll go first. Cam Ward's QB1 for me. It was easy. It wasn't that big of a like, oh man, Shedeur's really close. No, it's not. 2, Shedeur Sanders out of Colorado. 3, Jaxon Dart. 4, Will Howard. Mom's gonna hate that one. 5, Jalen Milroe. He's gotta have some fun. I will say this. Last year, 5, I was thinking first round pick. maybe like early second. This year, 5's maybe third round.
A lot different.
Yeah, a lot different.
A lot different.
And as we get into the guys, we'll show you the grades and the system and like stuff we used, and we'll have video, of course, courtesy of Juan. So yeah, you want to give them your list?
Yeah, my list is a little bit different.
Not in the first three.
Not in the first three, but Cam Ward 1, Shedeur 2, Jaxon Dart at 3, Jalen Milroe at 4, and Dillion Gabriel at 5.
Oh, excuse the typo, guys.
Yeah.
It's my fault.
But look, I think there's really one quarterback this year that's above and beyond everyone else. And I think that's a great way to start this quarterback ranking with the best one, consensus as far as we go. Cam Ward out of Miami.
Yeah, I agree.
Max, what did you see watching Cam Ward?
I saw a guy with a live arm. I saw somebody who's not afraid to rip throws into tight windows. I don't love the throwing motion, personally. I think he really looks like he has to get behind it to let it rip. But, you know, he's got the different throws, sidearm, the ability to throw quick off platform, able to shed defenders in the pocket. He's able to manipulate the pocket kind of at his will. He's able to scramble. And one thing I'll say is he kind of suffered from the CJ Stroud thing where it's like, hey, just go run. Just go get 10, you know? I don't think he's the superhuman like athlete, like an Anthony Richardson, like a Lamar Jackson, but he's got plenty of wheels. Like he can keep away from defenders. He's not going to run for 70-yard touchdowns in the NFL, right? Like he's not even Jane Daniels of last year. But man, there's just so many plays where the guy just is like, here's my drop. I'm just going to look around, look over there, and just rip one. You know, a couple things that I didn't like, and they're very minute, they're kind of nitpicky. I don't love the CJ Stroud syndrome where it's like, let's just be a statue in there and I don't want to take off and run. Hero ball, he'll just drift in the pocket. A lot of turnover type plays. Sometimes he'll wait for guys to get open, but that's just, I think that's every college quarterback I watched. Maybe other than Shedeur had some good anticipation. Other than that, really liked it.
Yeah.
Really liked the film. Again, he's not a blue chip quarterback. Obviously, he'll get drafted high. You can show the grade I have. I think it was, 82.5? Here, I pull it up.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, we'll show our grades in a bit.
Yeah. 82. He's a top 10 pick, though. He's a top 10 pick.
Yeah,
but I'll say this. Last year's quarterback, he's a quarterback 4. So, realistically, where he'll end up in my board is not where I think he'll get drafted.
Right.
Because, obviously, the position demands. Like, the Titans aren't going to go into the season and be like, we'll just ignore the quarterback position, right? We'll just ignore it. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
What'd you like? Let me tell me.
Look, automatically when I look at the tape, zip on the ball. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you mentioned it, you know, big arm, elite arm. It looks like he tries to make the big play too much. You know, we're on the same page.
Hero ball for sure.
Yeah, hero ball.
But like that's you kind of have to take that. It's like how else was he going to play in Miami?
He kind of has a little bit of a crutch as far as in zone coverage with a vertical read. He loves to hit the seam a lot. I want him to.
That was part of the offense. It was like fake screen.
But like it was money all the time. But I was like, Jesus Christ! Like I want to see something else here. Like, let's try to come out of your comfort zone.
That's the temperament, though. We talked about where it's like, hey, do you just want to gun the ball downfield like 20 times a game?
Yeah,
and it's not like super aggressive is a 10 out of 10. It's like you want the aggressiveness with the hey, take the 10-yard check down. Like that's money in the bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't lose taking 10 yards.
Yeah. Sometimes, like we said, he likes to take the big play too much, and I seen a film where fumbled to lose the game because he was trying to make the big play. It's stuff like that as a rookie, like it can get ugly, and especially because he might be on the Titans, like it's gonna scare me. Most time in the pocket per PFF. That just means like he knows how to elude away from defenders. There's like the meme that a lot of people see on TikTok and Instagram where
that's what I'm
he's
talking about.
flat-footed and he's just not moving, nonchalant about it. But I love the kid. I think has the best arm talent in the class.
Easily.
He would be the third to fourth quarterback taken from last year, like you said. And he's worthy of the number 1 pick. A lot of people love to do this as far as like, the quarterback class is not that good, and should we even take him with the first pick? He's worthy of the first pick. I think he's worthy the trading up for. I think he's worthy of the Titans taking up.
If you need a quarterback, I have no problem with that. Now,
Yeah.
if you're going to say he's the best prospect in the draft, incorrect, wrong. Not even top 5 prospect.
Exactly.
But in terms of quarterback, he's worth a pick like that because it's the position, right? It's not necessarily like this isn't Trevor Lawrence coming out where it's like lock him in before the season starts.
Right.
But he came on and he played well, and I'd have no problem if my team was picking one and I took him.
Yeah. My best fit, I did this at the time before free agency. I did say the New York Jets.
Yeah, they wish.
Yeah, obviously, I don't think they're going to trade up. They got Justin Fields now. But look, I love the fits with Tennessee. I think Cleveland, and I think the Giants, if they want to play aggressive and go up there for him. I think he's worthy of it.
It's just tough to imagine a team moving up. It's like Tennessee. It's like, hey, you don't want a franchise quarterback, right? You want to go take a guy who I have pegged a lot later in Shedeur Sanders.
Right.
My player comp, Steve McNair.
I can see that.
He's not as big as Steve McNair or Aaron McNair is. R.I.P. the boy. But overall, just reckless. Not reckless like in a bad way, but just like play with big arm, running around, throwing missiles everywhere.
Yeah.
I like Cam Ward. And
Yeah.
like I said, my grade 82.5, top 10 talent. No problem taking this guy with the first pick in the draft if you need a quarterback.
Yeah. My score is very similar. We're off by 2 points. I'm 84.5. I have him as a top 5 pick, obviously. And my pro comp for him, Jordan Love, currently.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, not so much as the project that Jordan Love was coming out of college, but I think right now, currently, just the style that he plays with, the arm talent that he has, the elusiveness and scrambleness in the pocket, it reminds me a lot of Jordan Love.
I think he has a hair more athleticism than Jordan Love, but I don't think he has the arm talent Jordan Love. Like it's a touch off. Yeah. Jordan Love's arm is really good. Like people forget how good it is.
I think Cam Ward's almost up there, bro. Like I get what you're saying as far as it's not right there, but it's not far from it. All right.
You got to split hair. We split hairs.
Yeah. Let's go to number 2 for us. We both have Shedeur Sanders, and this, Max, I don't know if you broke them down in separate tiers, but every single one of my quarterbacks are in a different tier. None of them, besides the 6 through 11 guys, are in the same tier.
No, I agree. I agree.
So
there's a drop off.
Yeah, there's a big drop off. Shedeur Sanders coming out of Colorado, 23 years old. Look, this guy has a lot of buzz about him, negative or positive. He's Deion's son. He has 48 starts. I counted the Jackson State starts for him. Yeah. It's football, man. He played with Travis Hunter his whole career.
I think we know he could have went somewhere other than Jackson State and played. Like he could have went to a power conference.
It's not because his talent wasn't there.
It wasn't like, damn, he had a transfer.
And that's actually something that I graded him as far as something good, like willing to take on the challenge. A lot of quarterbacks love to go to the best case scenario and best case situation with the best offensive line. He's like, fuck that. I'm gonna write it out. I'm gonna show up with my pops. I'm gonna get coached by my pops. Let's rock and roll. Max, what did you see on film from Shedeur Sanders?
Obviously, he's got the height, the weight to play the position. He's 6'1", I think 202, something like that. What I saw first was it's a good arm. It's not a Cam Ward arm. It's not a Jaxon Dart arm. Part of me wanted to go back and forth and, kind of be a little controversial and put Jaxon Dart above him because I think Jaxon Dart hit highs and hit throws that Shedeur's not really capable of doing. But overall, the way he plays the position, the processing, the knowing where to go with the football. And yeah, were there times where, hey, I just got to try to make magic because that's how Colorado has to play with Shedeur Sanders making magic? Yeah, that's all good. But other than that, it was a lot of good. I don't think there's one thing he does that you're like, that's elite. Maybe the processing, but he doesn't have an elite trait about him. Like not a huge arm, not the most athletic cat in the gym. He gets he gets pressured, gets pushed around, floats back. So there's some bad habits, but there's also a lot to like. There's good. He's really good in the short to intermediate passing. Sometimes he's just like, here's Travis Hunter, let me throw him the ball and we'll make magic. But other than that, I liked him. To me, this is a guy you pick in the middle of the first round. Like if he's there when Pittsburgh's picking, I run it to the board. Go ahead and run it up there. To me, he's Geno Smith. He's a poor man's Burrow. He's a rich man's Bryce Young.
Yeah, I had the same comp. I have Geno Smith currently.
He's a system. He's going to be a system quarterback in the NFL, unfortunately.
I'm really back and forth with Shedeur because the stuff that I've heard about him, it really does piss me off. because a lot of it is character stuff. A lot of it is because he's Deion's son. A lot of it is, the watch shit and the way that he plays. Honestly, bro, like,
dude, he was rich since the day he was born. Like his dad always had money. Like,
yeah.
I don't get it.
But as a football player, man, I think he's pretty good.
He seems like a good leader too. Like I don't think people hate him. His team, like he bought his lineman a car. Like he's doing all the little stuff. He knows how to be in the locker room. Like he's been in the locker room his whole life. Dad, I think it's a lot overblown. Yeah. I don't know if it's just
like we always say every year, Max. We don't obviously.
Justin Fields was the quarterback who got shitted on.
Yeah,
and he got crapped on for a long time.
But we don't interview these guys. We don't know them personally. The only thing that we know is stuff that we hear. Me and Max evaluations is strictly on the football field.
I will say one thing. He made a mistake by not performing at the combine. I think it was a really dumb decision. I think he should have went out there, because I don't think he's the type of guy where it's like, oh, you're in the top 3. You don't have to do nothing.
Right.
You're not that high up there.
I think
there will be a draft slide, because once you get out of a few teams, it's like no one needs a quarterback, and
we'll
who's going to move up? We'll see. And it's not like because he's not good. It's just because sometimes that's the way the board goes, right?
Yeah. But I like Shedeur Sanders. I don't want to make it seem like I'm bashing on him because I have him as a different tier as Cam Ward. It's just at the end of the day, like he's a prospect that needs some work. He's not a perfect prospect. He's not somewhere where it's tank for Shedeur, one of those guys.
That's what I mean. Like you're not going to go ahead and put him on the Browns and say, hey, turn this ship around, buddy. It's all on you. He's not a Josh Allen guy. And that's not saying he can't have a great NFL career. He can't win a Super Bowl. He can't be an all-pro. He can't do this. But he seems like the type of quarterback, and I think you saw it as well as I did, where the top-end talent isn't there. But he does a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff.
Yeah. Look, I think the arm talent is a little bit overblown as far as like it being weak. I have it at a 8 out of 10. I think it's pretty decent. I like what I seen on film. He can make every throw. When he has to zip it in, he'll zip it in.
I did a 7. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's just not a huge. Like, you think of a first-round quarterback, you're like, damn, I want that Baker Mayfield arm. Yeah, but he don't have that, unfortunately.
And I think one thing that I gave him a lot of credit for. We're always talking about with quarterbacks, Max, like, what's your situation? What are you dealing with?
He's tough.
How do you handle it? He's tough as fucking nails, bro. He got sacked 42 times. I'm pretty sure that's like leading the nation in sacks.
Some of that's him. Some of that's him trying to make a play.
But he kind of
gets up, gets popped, gets up, just fall back down, get back up. That's him.
Yeah, and it didn't work out with Caleb Williams as far as like him being so tough as nails that he's not going to throw a pick, But
I don't think Shedeur has a belief in his head that he can get away from anyone.
Yeah,
I think Caleb had that coming out, where I can outrun the whole defense.
Because Caleb last year was the same thing, Max. It was like he didn't win a lot of football games. He got sacked a bunch. Where are we going to tote the line as far as like this guy makes bad decisions or his line just sucks, so he's trying to make a play to win football games?
Yeah.
So that's where Shedeur is kind of stuck in. But I like the kid. 76.5 is my score. Max, what was your score?
77. Mid first round, like I said, anywhere between 10 to 25. Yeah. 10's a little high. 15 to 25, I'd say.
Yeah.
Good football player.
Not bad. We're right on the nose with the 77. I think we have, our numbers adjusted a little bit differently as far as where is everything at. I have him as a mid first round pick.
Yeah.
And as far as best fit goes, a lot of people are saying like the Giants are not a good fit. I would love for him to go to the Giants.
That wouldn't be bad. Yeah.
I think the Raiders are a good pick as far as if he slides, maybe crawl back into the first round. I will say this:
if I'm the Giants and I'm picking at 3, if you love him, go ahead and do it. Like we always say, go get your guy. But if you're just taking him because you need a quarterback and you don't love him at 3, like this guy's gonna fall in the draft. He's not gonna be a top 5 pick.
The one team that scares me that should not pick him,
Cleveland.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cleveland, I do not like him on Cleveland. Cleveland right now that's fit for a guy like Cam Ward. Shedeur can't be in a situation right now that he goes into not having anything. The Raiders right now, they at least have Chip Kelly. I think Chip Kelly would do some things.
Oh, they have a little bit more. They have some decent pass catchers. They like as bad as Raiders were last year, you could be like, they could have won like 3 more games with a decent quarterback.
And then with the Giants, it's like they have Malik Neighbors, where he's a top 5 receiver arguably.
They have some O-line people.
Coming back.
Yeah, they have some other guys.
So look, I would hate for him to go to Cleveland. I think Cleveland right now is a tough situation.
I hate any team where he has to go in and be the man. Day one, you're the man.
Yeah.
Just carry us, baby.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, next prospect. Let's go on to number 3 for us. We both have Jaxon Dart out of Ole Miss, senior, 223 pounds, 6'2". He has 45 starts under his belt, Max. He's a transfer guy. This guy was in the Lane Kiffin offense, so there's a lot of stuff in there that you got to take with a grain of salt. But what did you see, Max? What did you see out of Jaxon Dart?
Great size, great frame, huge arm. He's able to put a lot of pace on the ball. I didn't realize he was that great an athlete till I watched him play like on the film. I was like, damn, he's running the ball a lot. They have a lot of stupid little run plays. I'm like, just put him in danger all game. His ability to throw off platform, he was a baseball pitcher. He has all the tools in the book. He's more toolsy than Shedeur Sanders. Not even in question. I don't think they're in the same neighborhood. But what he doesn't do well, play in the pocket under center. Never gone under the center.
RPO guy.
It's a bullshit offense. Doesn't throw a lot of balls in tight windows. He's an ass to read the field. It's like a lot of times you look at him one, it's like, okay, I'm gonna look to the left, and then I'm never gonna come to the right. Mm-hmm. So that's what scared me. Fumbles a little bit too much. The mechanics can be all over the place, but that's something you can be like, because he's got such a big arm. He's like, I can just throw it in there. It doesn't matter. My body's going this way, my arm's going that way. I can just throw wherever I need to throw it. And that gets him into trouble at times. Yeah. There's a lot to like. Like I said, the highs to me were higher than Shedeur Sanders, but the lows were pretty low. Yeah. And the thing about Shedeur Sanders one, you could say it's like this, right? Here's college. Just steady. Jaxon Dart's like,
right. Yeah.
And I can't wait for the audio listeners to hear that. The sound effect. But overall, Jaxon Dart, if you want to move up into the late first round and take a chance, go for it. Like if you want to trade with the Eagles or trade with the Chiefs 31, 32 range, I'm happy with you. This is a day 2 guy more than likely, in my opinion.
Yeah, we'll see where he goes. As far as the arm talent, I wouldn't go to that extent. I would say he's a gamer. I see a lot of stuff on film where he gets hype. His teammates looks like they love him. And he rises to the occasion, bro. Like I've seen him make some pretty big plays, especially against Georgia, where he had an early ugly pick against them, bounced back in a big way, winded up beating Georgia this year. I seen him take some big hard hits, winds up getting right back up.
It's a big dude.
Yeah,
big dude.
He winds up coming right back up, as you said, for the athlete that he is. Like I think it doesn't get talked about enough. Like he's a legit athlete, a legit threat to run. And as far as the RPO things go, look, I'm just gonna say this.
It's just the offense, man. It leads to a lot of
that's who
unrealistic throws.
That's who he is, and let's just be honest. There's a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL right now that's who they are. It's the RPO game, and so they come in all shapes and sizes in the NFL. So I'm not gonna knock him too much on that, but he leaves himself limited as far as the team's possibility when you're a guy like that. He's not a guy that I don't think it's worthy to trade compensation to go up and get him. Unless you're at the 31, 32 pick, do a Lamar Jackson thing, make sure we get that 5th-year extension.
So you agree with me for sure on that.
Yeah, he's more.
If you go up to like 15 to pick him, I'm like, it's rich for my blood.
Yeah. But to me, his ceiling is a game manager plus. I don't see him as a slam dunk, like top 5 quarterback in the league potential. I just don't. I need to see more.
I think his ceiling's a little higher than you think. I think he'd be like a top 10 fringe, like 10, 9, 8 type of guy.
Yeah. Top 10.
But not like, I'm like, damn, what did we all miss about Jaxon Dart? That's not what I'm thinking about him.
Yeah.
There's a lot to like. There's a lot of things to not like about him. And like I said, he was just too polarizing for me to really think he's better than Shedeur. Like, Shedeur does all the little things well. He does not do the little things well at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My comp for him is Bo Nix, because Bo Nix I felt like was an RPO guy to me. He's shown me a little bit more things this year as far as like, hey, maybe I can be a top 6, top 5 quarterback potential, but he reminds me a lot of Bo Nix. He has a lot of traits like him. He has a good arm. He's an athlete. He's tough.
He reminded me of Sam Darnold.
Ooh, I don't know. You love the arm talent though, so I get where you're coming from.
I don't know how you don't think it's like really good. Like, do you think his arm's better than Shedeur's?
I think it's similar.
No,
I think it's similar.
No, you're wrong. You're tripped. Shedeur cannot put the pace on the ball like this guy.
I don't know. I like Shedeur's arm, man. Okay, so Jaxon Dart.
3.
Let's show his
Our grades.
scores. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have round 2, obviously, but Max has round 1 to 2. I think we're on
Late
the same
round
page.
1.
Yeah.
Very late.
We're on the same page because the first round, I feel like
that 5th year option is really worth
Exactly.
moving up, like giving up compensation for.
Yeah, exactly. As far as our grades go too, guys, I just want to say this also.
First year doing them, don't be too mean. No.
Yeah. But this is based off where we would pick them.
Oh yeah.
This is not based off where they'll go. This is based off where we will pick them.
This is Max and
A lot of
the GM.
There's gonna be guys on here. Oh, there's no way. Like Jaxon Dart's gonna go top 15. You're out your mind. It's like this is where we will pick them.
Yeah. Correct.
Just
yeah,
wanna
thank you. Thank you.
Okay, let's go to the next one. A guy that I love. I want to talk about him first because I feel like he's a little bit more of a interesting prospect. Jalen Milroe.
Okay.
I have him at 4. You have him at 5.
Yeah, I like him.
Max started off. We got Jalen Milroe out of Alabama. He's 6'2", 217, athletic freak. Honestly,
Yeah, no, you said it right. There's a lot to like about this guy. He's huge, great body, huge, great frame. Pause. Cannon for an arm, big arm. He'll take off. He'll outrun the whole defense. Go for 70. He's better at throwing deep than he is short. And when it all clicks, he looks like the best player in the draft. But man, it doesn't always click for him, unfortunately. There was moments a year ago where he looked like the best player in college football. And there's times where he carries Alabama's offense. Carries them.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's fair to blame Alabama's struggles on him. I think Alabama just naturally regressed. But there's times where you're like, how'd you miss that throw? Well, like, you just look off to run. You don't even look to throw. His mechanics, like I said, are all over the place. He doesn't really make guys miss when he runs. And when he looks to run, he just stops looking to pass altogether. And his pocket presence, he senses the itty bitty, like the little guy coming, take off and run.
Right.
Yeah, to me, this is just raw. A lot of raw.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to say, last thing. He has to see the guy open to throw it. He's not like, oh, I see Ryan Anderson or Ryan Williams working past the linebacker. Let me just put a little on the ball and get it over. No, he's like, come on, get open so I can rip the son of a gun in here.
Right. I had that in my notes. He doesn't throw in anticipation.
Zero
anticipation. Look, I want to say this. It's something where I said with Jalen Hurts, he's a natural runner. Because in Jalen Hurts' case, he doesn't make a lot of guys miss. He really doesn't. He's just a natural runner as far as like knowing when to get skinny, knowing what hole to go through. He looks like a natural runner out there. I feel the same about Jalen Milroe. He's a one read guy. Focuses way too much on the first read. Okay. The arm talent, out of this world. He has a cannon, like Max said. Completely agree with that.
Speed. If he ran the 40, it was like low 4. It's like 4.4, 4.5s. Yeah. He's fast.
Yeah,
really fast.
Yeah. The offense. It's an RPO offense. Like this is another RPO guy. This makes it a point to say it's going to depend on where he gets drafted. Like he's only going to be limited to a certain amount of teams. He needs a Lane Kiffin, Kingsbury, Kyle Shanahan, Chip Kelly, those type of guys who are comfortable with running the RPO game and having your quarterback as a threat to run. That's where he needs to go. And that's where he needs to go to have success. And as far as him starting year 1, sorry, it's not going to happen. Unless it's a Jalen Hurts type of thing where it's late in the season and you're kind of forced to. And hey, go out there, kid, make a bunch of mistakes.
If he has to play his rookie year, it's going to look a lot like Justin Fields, like unbelievable scrambles, head scratching throws where you're like, where is that ball going? But there's a way he can succeed in the NFL, and it's stash him a couple years on the bench, let him develop into a pro. There's things to like about Jalen Milroe, but it's raw and needs to develop. If I'm the Raiders, if I'm the Browns, and he's there at the 3rd round, take a flyer. Why not?
Yeah. He's a project guy.
And people say he's awesome. He's an awesome dude.
Yeah. Very awesome. If
People
you
say
hear
that about Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, and if you hear the way he talks, it's very Jalen Hurts like. Willing to take on challenges. The way that he looks at things, like he's open to criticism. Seems like a good dude. As far as his comp goes, there was really no other person to go but Jalen Hurts because of the project that he is. Now, his ceiling, I don't think it's Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts was a way better prospect.
Shattered what we thought his ceiling could. He shattered my version of what his ceiling could be.
Yeah, as far as what Max thought of Jalen Hurts, it may be similar as far as where Jalen Milroe is. For me, I had high expectations for Jalen Hurts. I liked him a lot, and so I'm not gonna hold Milroe to that praise as far as like him being exactly like Jalen Hurts. I said very poor man's Jalen Hurts. I don't think he's gonna be Super Bowl champion, like a top 10 quarterback in the league. I just can't. I need to see mass improvement from him in a lot of areas.
My comp was Justin Fields. It's really raw. It's really good scrambling. It's really raw throwing. Not a lot of progression. I will say this: Justin Fields was a lot more polished coming out than Jalen Milroe. Just to not disrespect Justin Fields, but that's the only guy I could see even remotely close to him in terms of size, athleticism.
Yeah. Max had a similar score to me. I have him round 2, round 3. The only reason why I have him that high is because I'm willing to take a chance on this kid early for the athletic ability.
Yeah.
The athletic ability is like
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's real, bro. And a lot of teams are going to be looking at that like
it's a weak QB class too.
Yeah, and a lot of teams are going to be looking at that in a way like, hey, maybe we could just get him on the field for 15, 10 plays just to run the football. Yeah. That's how talented of a runner he is.
100%.
Max has him as a round 3, pretty similar. But
take a chance on him if you're there.
Take a chance. And as far as best fit goes, I love the Raiders to pick him. I'll
be picking him in round 1.
I don't know about round 1, but I love the Raiders to pick him because of the Chip Kelly aspect. I think Chip Kelly will have some fun with Jalen Milroe.
I think Chip Kelly would have fun with Will Howard.
Another can't. I would hate for the Colts to do this, but I had to put them. I think Jalen Milroe going to the Colts, me and you will get a kick out of it on draft day.
Oh yeah,
if they draft them, we're like,
oh man,
they got 2 fucking dogs. And
they got that white guy who's pretty athletic too, Daniel Jones.
They're gonna have the most athletic quarterback room if they wind up drafting
history
Milroe.
of the NFL.
Okay, let's go to Will Howard. Will Howard is 7 on my board. I want to hear what you have to say about Will Howard. He is what, 4?
4.
Okay.
Let me say this. Big drop off from 3 to 4, everybody. He's got great size, great frame. For his size, pretty good athlete. They were like, hey, take the ball, do a quarterback power, which I was impressed by. This guy in the beginning of the year, when I watched the film, I was like, I kind of saw it once. I was like, oh, this guy sucks. He's not going to do crap. But I think as the year progressed, he got better and better. The mechanics are good, but he's it's slow. It's really like, if that guy's barreling in one, it's not coming out quick.
It looks like he's throwing a baseball.
Yeah, correct. I agree. I think his pocket presence is solid. He has the ability to put touch on the ball, which I liked. He started to hit a lot of big throws, especially during the playoff run. Maybe he just got hot, maybe something like that. And he played a lot of good teams. They played a lot. They played Oregon twice.
He had a really good team.
Yeah, exactly. And he's not. I will say this: the combine throwing was rough, tough pill to swallow. Let's just say this: you don't know those guys. You don't know where they're gonna break. Still, though, maybe just throw the ball so they can catch it. I don't know. This is me. He's a little bit older. I think this one. He's good at a lot of crap. He's not good. He's not a master or anything. He's nothing elite about him. It's just a lot of good. You obviously, with Ohio State, you didn't see a lot of tight windows. It's a college offense. He's kind of a throwback. To me, he's Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brisket, because he's white. There you go.
I really
round 3 to 4.
I really don't like him. I think he's a day 3 guy. He has a lot of work to do with his feet. I don't like his feet. I really don't. It bothers me.
We can't fix that, can we?
I know, but it bothers me. It really does. It bothers me. His clock speeds up very quick for him. He's not prone to pressure. Falls apart. His mechanics fall apart when the pressure gets on him.
See,
it's erratic throws.
I feel like that's a criticism that was way more prevalent early in the season than late in the season. Yeah. I feel like as the year went on, he got better at that stuff.
Hesitant decision making. The play versus Penn State, where
rough.
He does way too much pump faking in his throws. the wide receivers like are getting pissed at him because he's just all over the place. And it's so hesitant to the point where the receivers are like, bro, like, what the fuck are you gonna do? It was to a point where like Mbuka winded up dropping a wide open throw because he's just like fucking pump faking his way. And I'm like, no one's behind you, bro. Like, you're good. So I get in your sense the range that you like him. I'm not trying to make it sound like you absolutely love this guy. It's a weak quarterback class.
Yeah.
So I think
I was begging for somebody to run up and take 4 and 5. I was like, who wants to do it?
But
I'll say this: I'm not gonna let no 5'10" quarterback make it in. Never again. No.
But yeah, he's a sneaky athlete. I really like his athleticism.
For as big as he is, though, you think he'd have like a cannon, but he don't have a okay to good arm.
And I'm gonna say this: he's a career backup guy. It's just hard for me to ignore the mechanics and the accuracy issues and him just not being able to fill the pocket. I don't like the guys that don't really deal with pressure well. It bothers me.
I think he looked great in scarlet and gray. He's gonna look great in the silver and black.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, round 3 though.
Yeah, Chip Kelly will love him, right?
You love him too?
Not really. Let's go to the scores. Max's score for him was
71 out of 100. Nothing special. I put round 2 to 3.
Do you really think you'll pick him 2 to 3?
I don't think he'll get picked, but I'm like, it's a
no. You yourself.
Oh no, I
GM.
pick him at 3. I just put this as the range I could see him going in.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay,
of course though. I want to say one more thing. It's a weak quarterback class, so the somewhat decent ones will go a little earlier than last year. He's not getting picked outside the 5th or 6th.
Yeah. Okay, let's go into my guy. I know Max has been waiting all fucking day for this.
Oh,
Dillion Gabriel, he's my 5th quarterback.
Yeah, someone who doesn't deal with pressure well.
The tier drop off here is massive for me. I just want to reiterate that.
Are him and Will Howard in the same tier?
Almost.
Oh
almost.
God.
It's almost. It's pretty close. Dylan Gabriel, 5'11", 205. He's a munchkin. You know, Max hates those munchkins.
Yeah, I do.
But I just want to say a couple of things about him before Max rips into my fucking asshole right now. Look, he has a weird hitch in his leg.
Yeah.
It's super weird. It's kind of similar to Will Howard, where it just bugs the shit out of me. I like the big moments that he had, though. He had big moments.
What big moment?
Against Ohio State.
Not in the big game.
In the first meeting, he had really big moments.
Okay.
Lots of screens, just like Bo Nix last year. Yeah. That's what the offense is.
That's not his fault.
Yeah. The depth of target is the lowest in the nation, just like Bo Nix's was.
Just like his height, too.
Yeah.
The lowest in the nation. Yeah.
7 yards per throw, per depth. Lowest in the nation. Yeah. The mechanics need some work. Just all over the place. Plus, it looks like he lacks the true elite arm talent. His arm is weak.
There you go.
He got his ass beat in the playoff game, like you said. He had no answers for them. His size is glaring, and the pressure in his face, he's just not be able to make guys miss. That's what bothers me too, because he can run. He's a good athlete, but he just can't make guys miss.
Yeah, I agree.
This is why he's above a lot of the Ewers, the Howard. He's a rhythm guy. I love guys that when he gets in a rhythm, I can see it. Like when he's comfortable and he's like a basketball player. He sees one go into the hoop, he gets hot. He just starts hitting guys.
He'll need to be in the right offense to have any type of success in the NFL.
100%.
Like Miami.
Yeah.
That brings me to my comp, and I'm going to get into why I hate him. Tua Tagovailoa, lefty, short, crappy arm. I don't get how this guy, you could put him over Will Howard. The traits aren't there. Small. Just gets swallowed up by pass rushers. When the game gets big, like in that Ohio State game, that's every game in the NFL for this guy.
Yeah,
I'll say this: he's a much better athlete than I think Tua is. He's quick. He's able to run past people. Like the quick compact release. I hate the hitch, but he's able to put some good touch on the ball. But I guess you have to when you can't throw the ball hard because you suck.
I want to say this too. This is a huge stat for me. 64 starts. That's leading this whole quarterback class. The next closest guy to have that many starts is Will Howard, 50. He has 64.
How many did Cam Ward have?
Cam Ward had 38.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So he has 60. He has a lot of games under his belt.
He is what he is, a career backup to Dylan Gabriel. He's Tua Tagovailoa. Day 3, pick him round 4 later, have fun with him.
And I think it's something to say where I'm not saying this as far as like he's gonna be some star or something. He's tied for the most touchdown passes ever in college football history. 155. He tied Case Keenum. I mean, that's something.
I think you have to play college football a lot to get there.
Yeah, he has
because you
64
can't go
starts.
to the NFL
Yeah,
because
yeah.
no one wants.
I get you. It's the size, it's the mechanics.
Yeah,
But
he got that free education more and better than me.
I think he's gonna be a pretty good backup in the NFL. I have Tyler Huntley as a comp for him.
Oh,
I think Tyler Huntley is an
yes.
athletic guy, but Tyler Huntley can't make nobody fucking miss, bro. He's really athletic. Everyone looks at him, black quarterback. Oh, he can run, but it's like he can't.
He reminds me more of Brett Hundley than Tyler Huntley.
Brett Huntley. Hey, Brett Huntley has some heart, dog. But Dillion Gabriel, I don't love him. He's my fucking last quarterback. Who's your fifth quarterback, Max?
Oh, it was Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe. We hit him.
Okay, so we hit all of our list, right?
Yeah, let's. I think we should throw it up there. We'll recap it real quick.
Okay.
I'll start from mine. Cam Ward was 1. 2 was Shedeur Sanders. 3 was Jaxon Dart. 4 was Will Howard, and 5 was Jalen Milroe.
Yeah.
Man, after 3, it's real bare.
Yeah. Like I said, we have almost similar lists.
Well, I wanted to be inclusive and keep the short guy in there.
Oh man, yeah. I like Dillion Gabriel.
I know you like him. You like those guys who are good at college football. You like those
Not
guys.
all the time. Not all the time. But let's talk about a couple of guys that weren't on our list that a lot of people are going to talk about. Like, hey, what about this guy? What are your guys' thoughts? Let's talk about Ewers. Where'd you have him?
Bottom, like 8, 9.
I had him at 8.
Dude, I had him lower than Tyler Show. I had him. The only guy I think he's better than is Riley Leonard. Yeah. Dude, you ready for the comp?
Yeah.
I've been teasing it with it. He's Jimmy G. He's Jimmy
That's
freaking
pretty
G.
good though.
Dude, anytime there's pressure, it's like it's over. It's over. Big playoff game versus Ohio State, pressured, ripped, touchdown. Anytime it's big moment, nuts on the table, he fails. It's a bad arm. It's bad feet. It's bad decision making. It's just horrible all the way around. People think he's getting drafted in the second round. He's not getting drafted till the 6th. If I wouldn't touch this guy with a 10-foot pole, there's nothing he does well. I really mean that. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm not trying to say, oh, he sucks at football. But tell me, what is his calling card? It's not accuracy. It's not decision making.
He's just very erratic. He's very erratic,
and
Max.
Dude, it's like when you get a little pressure on him, it's like, oh, he's going to crumble. He's going to crumble like a house of cards.
Yeah.
They had him at 14 at some point. People had him big. Like I said, how many balls did you see get batted?
Too many.
I'm like, you're 6'2".
Yeah.
Dylan Gabriel didn't have that many balls get batted.
Yeah.
He plays small.
And everyone just wants Arch Manning to just play already.
Correct. I'm trying look, he's a solid athlete. He's got some good little like throws to him, whatever. Yeah. I'm telling you, there's so much bad here. I was just blown away. I'm not even trying to be all negative on the kid. He's just not it.
Yeah. I would say this positive about him. I think the arm talent's there. I think he has a decent arm. I don't think it's nothing like crazy, but
it's an NFL arm.
Yeah, he has an NFL arm. I think it's just a mental thing for him. He needs to get to a certain like mental capacity as far as like calculated risk, know when to run, know when to set your feet, like just a lot of the things on film that I seen.
But he can't get like away from people. That's why he's so erratic. He just gets scared
and it's just so inconsistent. Like on film, I seen a play where he sails the ball over the guy's head, and then the next play on the run throws a touchdown, laser right on the fucking money. I'm like, where is that? I just want to see more of that, man. I have him anywhere in the day 3, range.
Rounds 5 to 7.
Yeah. My pro comp for him was a mobile poor man's Andy Dalton.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and
I truly think I hit the nail on the head with the Jimmy G, because when that pressure gets to him, like it's not like pressure gets to him and he gets sacked. It's like no, pressure gets to him and it's turnover.
I think you're giving him a little bit too much credit with the Jimmy G, but I get you as far as dealing with pressure.
No, not like Jimmy G coming up. I'm talking about like Jimmy G like right now. If Jimmy G had to play for the Raiders, like Jimmy G's last year with the Raiders. Yeah,
that's pretty bad. Let's talk about another guy, and Tyler Show. Been getting a lot of buzz out of Louisville. 6'5", 219 pounds. 23 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Max, what'd you think of Tyler Show? He played for Ohio State last year.
That's Kyle McCord.
Oh, Kyle McCord, sorry.
He's able to do a lot of different things. He's able to sling the ball around. He's played a ton of football.
A lot of injuries.
Yeah, injured in 21, 22, 23. Apparently, he's pretty athletic. Didn't show off the 40 time, rough pocket presence. Doesn't play well around traffic. Overall, it's a good arm. He's able to, like, side arm over the top, different angles. To me, with the injury history, and I don't think he's got the talent to be someone elite. He's a career backup. He's like Marcus Mariota today after a million injuries.
He's a lot more mobile than this guy. I'm more comparing him as far as the quarterback in the class that can surprise some people. And he's a guy that he can throw the ball. He's athletic, he has some zip on it. But part of the process here, Max, is what's your ceiling? How much better are you going to get?
Yeah,
and I don't see him getting better. I think he's reached his ceiling.
Yeah, he's capped.
Yeah, and a lot of people love his film. And don't get me wrong, like I seen some things on film, like, oh shit, like this guy can throw the ball. He reminds me a lot of Aiden O'Connell. Aiden O'Connell was a prospect in the draft where it's like, man, he's solid. Like you see the film on this guy, but it's like he goes into the NFL and it's just like average, meh. Like okay, you have a good throw here and there. But I want more. You come up wanting more.
Correct.
So it's not that I hate Tyler's show. It's just the potential. I don't see him getting better. I want to talk about Kyle McCord. He barely missed my top 5 list. Out of Syracuse, he was the guy that transferred from Ohio State, who we didn't really love last year. We talked about him last year in our wide receiver video. 22 years old, 6'3", 218 pounds. He has the least amount of starts as a college football quarterback. He has 37, the lowest out of this class. He's a poor man's Baker Mayfield to me. He shows some accuracy at times, but it's just, it's backup stuff. It's backup stuff to me. It's the potential again. How much better are you going to get?
People made a way bigger deal of him having a good year at Syracuse when I was like, to be honest, last year, if you couldn't have success at Ohio State with those weapons, it was more on, like, I thought last year takeaway from there was their quarterback was so bad he held the whole team back.
Yeah, an interesting stat on him that I pulled up on PFF. They have this stat called big time throws. He was number 1. He had the most.
Yeah, I think he had a lot of I don't know what the stat was, but I heard he had a lot of. I think he led the league too in bad throws. I'm not sure if that's it, but to me on film, it was a lot of troublesome plays. Like, damn, that ball almost got picked. Damn, that ball almost got picked. Mm-hmm. Not a good improviser. He can't throw on the run. To me, I put Aiden O'Connell for him. I was like, he's solid.
Yeah, he's
not
solid.
A good athlete. He's better underneath. He's able to put touch on the ball, able to put zip. But it's like, how much better is he going to get? And I'm sorry, I still have a little bit bias towards 2023 away because I haven't watched a couple games back. I was like, dude, this guy sucks.
Yeah, we're talking mad shit about him.
It's like, hey, they're wide open. They're wide open. You can't
missing
hit
them. Yeah. Riley Leonard out of Notre Dame.
Joke.
Yeah,
I have him. Klein.
I have him as a Mike White.
Mike White.
Yeah, the best
Bailey
thing,
Zappi.
The best thing I can say about Riley Leonard is, he's a captain. He's a leader.
That's what you want.
The typical guys.
He's tough. He's a good athlete. he's Daniel Jones right now.
Exactly. I think that's gonna do it. Anything else on this quarterback class, Max?
Sorry, we didn't do that guy DJ Ulamali. He sucks. No, I'm kidding. No, overall, it wasn't as good a class as last year. I feel like we're gonna beat that point till it's dead in people's mind. But there's some good value. There's gonna be some guys who are gonna surprise us. And hey, Tyler, we're gonna be wrong about one of the quarterbacks for sure. Yeah. We're always wrong about somebody.
If I had the guy that I'm most scared about taking, honestly, I would go with the Jaxon Dart. The more that I talk about Shedeur Sanders, the more that I like him, Max, and I really want him to work out. I just, I have a soft spot for Shedeur because I hate when the draft process comes around and he's just fucking crucified, bro. You brought up a good comparison with Justin Fields. Yeah, where it's just like he's the guy. He's the punching bag this year. That's what it is. He's the punching bag.
Who was the last year? I don't think anyone really got it last year.
Last year it was Bo Nix, I felt like.
I thought it was Drake May a little too.
Oh, Drake May. That's
people crapped on him.
Yes, Drake May. Yeah, because
Chris Sims crapped on him.
Yeah, Chris Sims crapped on him. We're high. He was our second best quarterback. So that's the guy that I'm wishing good for is Shedeur Sanders.
I think he will slide in the draft just because the way the draft works, not necessarily indicative of the player.
Yeah.
But I think if he gets to the right spot, he'll be a really good rookie year.
Yeah.
But like I said, Cleveland, stay away.
Yeah, I'm just scared for him to go to Cleveland.
Pull a
I want the
Arch
Raiders
Manning.
to. I want the Raiders to get him at the right value. I wouldn't mind
Or
Shedeur
just take him at
Sanders.
7
And
or 6, whatever.
I think that's a little bit too rich. I think he can drop. I think if he drops to 7, like you trade down. You trade down and you pick him later. And I love the fact that the Raiders have Geno Smith. Let Shedeur sit. Let him sit for a year. What's wrong with sitting for a year these days?
Way to bring up the Raiders. It's a draft show.
It's all right. The Raiders need a quarterback. We're not like the Eagles. Okay? Fuck Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, all right? I like Jalen Hurts. You didn't. That's all I gotta say, bro. Why we got this green bat, by the way? This is Eagle colors, bro.
Pre-game bat.
Pre-game bat.
Shout out to Odell.
Anything else, Max?
That's it. See you for the next one.
We'll see you guys for the next one. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Comment down below. What do you guys think of the quarterbacks? What's your top 5 list? What do you guys think we're wrong? We're right? What do you agree with, disagree with? All that good stuff. We're open to it. We're open to the conversation. We will see you guys in the next one. We out. Peace.
Big dream.